Hey, story-driven leaders, Rramandeep here, and we are back on Story Foundry, episode number 4. Today's episode is one which I'm passionate about because I am breaking a myth that many entrepreneurs, marketers, and even corporate leaders have that. And that myth is that storytelling is soft. Well, storytelling is not soft, but indeed it is strategic. Let's understand what stories do to our brains first. Whenever we hear a story, our brain's reticular activating system gets activated and it acts as a filter. And stories, they act like a VIP pass through it. When we hear a story that moves us, the emotional part of our brain gets activated. If the story has suspense, our motor cortex gets activated. And when we truly move with the character or journey of a person, that's where neuroplasticity comes into the picture. Let me give you an example. Think of the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. Remember that powerful scene where Will Smith's character is in the subway bathroom holding the door while his little boy sleeps. Your heart breaks with him, right? You feel his pain, his fear, and his love. That's where your brain is connecting to the story. And when he finally lands his job, it's just not a happy ending. It's a moment that fills you also with hope. Well, that's the power of storytelling. You learn and grow with the character. It's how the brain understands the world. When we think of storytelling and then picture creativity, emotion, and connection. But behind every great story that moves us, whether it's a movie, a brand, a campaign, or a TED Talk, there is completely invisible holding it all together. And that something invisible is called framework. Frameworks aren't formulas to restrict your creativity. In fact, they are the structures that guide your audience's attention, makes your message easier to remember, and help you build trust faster. Just like a skeleton gives shapes to the body, a good framework gives shape to your story. And in the world of business, that shape can be the difference between being heard and being forgotten. As a storyteller, I look at the world in frameworks because frameworks don't just explain, they make meaning. And once something makes meaning, it becomes memorable. Today, I want to show you one of the most powerful storytelling frameworks in the business. You may know it as Simon Sinek's Golden Circle, but I see it as a narrative arc. Let me show you how. Simon Sinek's Golden Circle framework explains why, how, and what. Sinek's mention in the book start with why. It's not just a framework, but rather a movement. And there are practical applications for it, such as it can be used as a guide to improve leadership, corporate culture, hiring, product development, and even marketing. But before we explore the applications, let's understand it starting from outside to inside. What it is very easy to define. Description. What is nothing but description of the product or the services. Then comes how. How is your unique selling proposition, which is your USP. Why is nothing but how you are articulating your why, your cause, your purpose, why you are here, why you are there in the market, why you get out of the bed every morning. Most companies today focus on what, and how. And they don't even go near to why. Let's understand the golden circle. Starting the way. Most businesses start from outside to inside. And most people communicate like this. Their what is. We sell ergonomic chairs. How? Our chairs are engineered with posture correction and pressure point support. And what is their why? Well, to help people feel better at work. But did you notice something? They start with features. Then they move to process. Followed by, only then maybe they are talking about the purpose. It's logical. It's safe, but it's not inspiring at all. And when you think of the inside out approach of the golden circle way, now let's flip that. This is how great brands and visionary leaders communicate. They always start with why. We believe everyone deserves to feel energized and pain-free at work. And what is their how? We design these chairs that support your body's natural alignment. And what is their what? They just happen to look amazing and last for 10 years. See the difference. The first speaks to you and your brain. The second speaks for your belief. And people don't buy products. They buy beliefs. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most hiring managers ask, do you have experience? Can you meet KPIs? Can you close deals while hiring? But they forget to ask, do you believe what we believe? Because when someone aligns with your why, they don't just work for your company, they live for it and they fight for it. Let me tell you a real story. A startup once hired a brilliant salesperson, crushed targets, but total mismatch in mindset. The company believed in collaborative culture and long-term client relationships, whereas he believed in quick wins and moving on. Guess what happened? High revenue, higher team friction, and clients started leaving. They didn't hire for purpose fit. They hired for performance and paid the price. What I'm trying to say is, it is not easy the way we think. Your personal story. Use the Golden Circle framework to tell your personal story of how you came to the decision of following a certain career path. Your brand or client story. This framework is most often utilized while writing a story-driven and About Us page. Start with the big idea, the process, and the end result. Emails and newsletter offer you the opportunity to have a one-to-one conversation with audience. Let emotions and stories take the front wheel to drive connection. This is how you can use Golden Circle in your storytelling in day-to-day life. Simon Sinek's Golden Circle works because it mirrors how the human brain processes decisions. The neocortex, the outer brain of our brain, understands what, but the limbic brain, where decisions are made, only responds to why and how. That's why stories sell. And that's why frameworks that start with purpose win the hearts first and the logic follows later. So, whether you're hiring your next designer, launching your next product, or even pitching your brand in the world, consider using Simon's Golden Circle framework and accordingly curate your marketing message and, of course, your why. And if you're still stuck with your marketing message and you want me to audit your business and build your personal brand on LinkedIn, do send me a DM on LinkedIn. You can even follow me on my LinkedIn and this is my profile. Till then, let's meet in the next episode, and happy visualizing and happy storytelling.